Hello, welcome to Farrell Swim Tech. My name is John Farrell, and this is a show where I take user-submitted videos and I critique their stroke technique. A little bit about my background before I start. I swam for over 15 years competitively. I was a high school All-American in the 200 freestyle and 100 backstroke. I swam for Brigham Young University for 4 years, specializing in backstroke and distance freestyle. So currently, I do triathlons, and I private coach for stroke technique at my local area. So if you have any inquiries about this show or any other episodes that I do, please send me an email right down here, thefarrell@gmail.com. You're more than welcome to request that I do a video for you or any friends that you might have. I do this as a free service. However, donations are always acceptable and appreciated. It helps to go towards my own triathlon endeavors and buy milkshakes for my kiddos. So Brent, a Team Zoot member from Texas, has sent me this video today, and we are going to review it. And I'm going to give him 3 major ideas to work on. Now, Brent and I have been going back via email, so he already understands that we need to talk about his kick. Currently Brent is about a 230 to 235 per 100 freestyle. And that's when he's going easy. He said he can go about 2 minutes to about 2 minutes when he's going really fast for a whole 50. So our goal on this episode is to kind of figure out what is slowing Brent down. And what can he do to eliminate 2 things? Number 1, eliminate drag. Number 2, increase his propulsion. I guess that's just 2 main goals, not eliminating 2 different things. So, okay, so I got his video right here, right there. I'm not used to this. I have a new way that I'm doing my cropping and stuff like that. So, okay, so here we go. So here is his video right here. So, first thing I see right off the bat, and this is just more of a lightning round, his kick is really, really far. You know, his legs split really wide, and there's a whole scissor in there that he scissors way out to the sides. I see there is a rotation in there, but it's not very smooth. That means he is probably forcing himself, He is forcing the rotation during the middle part of the pull. That just creates problems with overall stroke stability. What I'm seeing with the arms is that he's kind of doing what I like to call the treadmill effect, where he's not necessarily putting a lot of force on the water. He's more kind of using the general velocity that he's already given to barely maintain it. So he's not exactly generating any acceleration on the arms. So he's not generating any speed each pull he takes, but more of just a simple maintenance of the speed that he already has. Now there is a big difference here, because there's a difference between maintaining speed and increasing speed. Okay, so there. Okay, so we'll stop right there. So first thing we want to talk about is the kick. So we're going to slow this down here. So right there. Right there. His knee is bent. His leg is straight. Okay, and not only that, his hips are pivoted down towards the pool. Because you can see right here, his bum is just about touching the surface of the water, okay? So you can see that there's not that much space, and this was a little rough on the video quality, but you can tell right here there's just a little bit of space between his bum and the surface of the water, which is fine, but the problem is his hips are pointed down towards the bottom of the pool. Now there's a fair amount of reasons why this could happen. Main reason could simply be flexibility. His hip flexors might be overly tight, and that is what would pull his legs down while he kicks. instead of having his legs flow straight like the lane line. Like you can see the lane line as a guide for what's level in the water, and you see his legs are, this leg is going all the way down. So main reason why this is, and this is just an anchor. I think, Brent, that your legs are probably your biggest hindrance at this point in terms of holding you back. Now, you're not doing much on the front end to increase your propulsion, but your kick is literally an anchor. You mentioned in the email about balance. What I would say, it's not necessarily because your body position is pretty decent. I mean, if we go later on here, overall, your upper body's pretty good, but your hips and down, that's where you get into trouble. So let's put this here. So let's see if we can get this into perspective here. And okay. So this side is mostly kind of on top of the water. This side is way too deep. This is way too deep. So, and what I'm looking here is I'm looking at overall balance between your front end and your back end. So you can see that your head is on top of the water, your shoulders on top of the water, everything's looking good here. But as we try and rotate backwards, so if we look right, where was that? Right there, okay? Your foot is down here. That's probably about 3.5 feet underneath the water, and that foot is right at the surface, okay? Your foot's right at the surface. That foot is about 3 feet underwater. That span is probably about 4.5 foot diameter, okay? If you drew a circle from that heel to that toe, that's about 4 feet, okay? Now, don't worry. Well, I'm just diagnosing the problem right now. I think I know the solution. We've already talked about this in the email. I'm going to show you the whole solution in a minute. But what's happening is this whole leg is pushing water forward. When you kick up, so let me see if okay, so when you kick down, that water is pushing against the entirety of your leg. So you're trying to move forward in the water, but water's pushing back against the entirety of your leg. And the further down you go from horizontal, you're kicking water forward. All right? So that's one of the main reasons why we don't want a gigantic kick. Now, there's a lot of people that would argue that it's better to not have a kick at all. I go against that theory because you're better off having a nice relaxed kick that is consistent and steady and maybe about this big of amplitude in terms of toe to toe, rather than, maybe only doing a 2-beat kick and having a larger kick. Because most people that do a 2-beat kick, they tend to have a much larger kick. Especially if they haven't taken the time to properly work on that 2-beat kick in order to where it's not really, to where it's mechanically very sound. So here, I want to look, I want to see what, if I can tell. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, so you kind of have a 4-beat kick going on here, but it's a very, very odd timing of it. Technically, you should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, all right. So that's thoroughly gone through the legs. So to kind of while I'm getting, oh, whoops, wrong button. So let's kind of review what are the problems with the legs. Number one, the amplitude is too wide. The amplitude is too wide, and it's more like this. So instead of like this, it's like this. Okay? You get one kick that's here. This motion is throwing water forwards, which is pushing you backwards. We want to avoid that as much as possible. and this kick that goes down, that's also kind of pushing water forward. We don't want to do that. Remember, the overall theory is we take water in front of us and push it backwards. The legs do that by shifting their position downward, and as you push water downward, it shoots the entire length of your leg. So what we want to do is we want to get the resultant of that pushing, because when we push, it shoots down in whatever direction that the leg is facing. We want to shoot it down so it goes down the whole length of our leg. If we bend the knee, then what happens is you're missing all this upper part of your leg. So when you kick like this and your upper legs are not kicking as opposed to kicking like this, okay? When you kick like this, number one, you're destroying your quads. Absolutely destroying your quads. That's all that you're using in order to kick there. If you do this, you'll feel it in your triceps. If you just do this with your arm, just think about that, but your quads. You need your quads. You don't want to destroy them. Your hips and your glutes and your hip flexors, if you use your entire leg like this as one continuous unit, that's going to spread the love in all of those muscle groups. So you're not going to be really hammering that quad each and every single time. It's going to give you more legs for the bike and the run. Sorry, got my girls some hot chocolates tonight. They were freezing after practice. So what do we do to fix this? So over emails, I have sent to Brent about a routine. And this is a routine that I prescribe to a lot of people. If you've done it, let me know how it goes, because I haven't exactly gotten a lot of feedback on this particular thing yet. I will openly admit this is a theory. This is a theory of mine of how to teach proper kick technique. I have no scientific data to back this up, but in theory, this should work. So what we're going to do is we are going to, let me see here. There we go. Huh? Oh, okay. Sorry. New swim client. So here's what we're going to do. Okay. So first thing you're going to do, let me see here. Sorry, kind of doing this on the fly here. We're going to bring this down. Bring this down to here. Okay. All right. So we're going to put that there. We're going to bring you down here. We're going to shift you over there. And there we go. All right. So here's what we're going to do in order to learn how to do our kick. So first thing we're going to do Superman kicks. All right. So first thing we need to do is to ascertain if we have enough flexion in our hips to be able to properly do a kick. Okay, so first thing you want to do is we need to learn how to be nice and flat on the ground and in a good streamline position. So we are going to actually do some streamlines here on the ground. So just like this, you're going to bring your hands up in your streamline position over in front of your head. Ow. Sorry, that's my green screen. So you're going to be like this, okay? So you're going to make sure that your legs are going to be nice together. Point the toes, straighten the knees, keep everything together, all right? Now what we need to do is we need to determine if our hip flexors are flexible enough to be able to do a proper kick. Now, the reason why this is important is because if you do a lot of running and a lot of cycling, your hip flexors might not be very flexible because those workouts do not lend themselves to good flexibility in the hip flexors. So what you want to do, sorry, I'm getting over a cold, is you want to keep one leg on the ground, point the toe, lift the leg as one thing. Don't bend the knee. Keep that leg nice and straight. If you can get it about 12 inches off the ground don't lift the hip, don't bend the knee, don't do a combination of both. Don't do that. It's not good. But you want to lift the hip with the foot. Don't lift the leg with the foot. Don't lift the hip. Keep that hip square on the ground. Lift that leg up 12 inches. Okay? Same with the other leg. So we're going to start that. Okay? Now, if you cannot do that, if that is very hard and or impossible for you to do, what you need to do is start a yoga routine. Start 2 times a week, a 30-minute yoga session. What you're looking for is you are looking to be able to do a good yoga routine for a 30-minute session. And that will always work your hip flexors. Most yoga routines for runners, for cyclists, all of them, they will all work your hip flexors. They'll work your quads. They'll work your hamstrings. You need more flexibility, especially in your hips. Maybe if you do a 30-minute beginner hip opener yoga exercises, things like that. That'll really help open the hips. That'll make kicking a whole lot easier, okay? So that's number 1. Number 2, what we want to do is we want to do the same thing except on our butt. So we're going to lift, down, okay? So this should be much easier because technically this is your down kick, okay? You're kicking down, 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 all right? So, but the whole key here is to be able to point the toes, keep the knees locked, and then kick like this, all right? So this is what we want to do. So this is number 1, on your butt, kicking up and down like this. Keep the knees straight, keep the toes pointed. Exercise number 2, on the floor, 1 at a time. 1, 2, 1, 2. Now, next, we actually want to do legitimate Superman kicks. So for these, what we want to do is we want to keep pretty much up to our rib cage on the ground, okay? Hips on the ground, rib cage on the ground. Hands elevated out in front, legs elevated in back. And then we want to kick like this, okay? All you want to do is just kick like this, okay? So if I actually was in the pool, this is about how fast did I kick. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Okay? It's not very hard. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on my legs. This is nice and easy for me. Okay? I can kick like this for hours. Very nice, very easy. Utilizing the entirety of my leg. You see there is separation. You see the shadows right here on the ground between my thigh and the rug. This is what you're going for. Okay? So, all right, enough of floor exercises. Man, that chair is heavy. I don't know why that chair is so heavy. All right, let's put my camera back. All right. So, let me get my microphone put back in position. There we go. So that's the beginning, and that's your dry land. And you literally want to do this every day. And you want to do this every day because what you're wanting to do is you're wanting to build these legs into your muscle memory. You want to be able to fire your leg as one continuous piece without thinking about it. It's going to take a while. It's not very easy. Remember, our brains are computers. We tell them to run a specific program. It does it in a certain way. We have to take time to reprogram our brain to work in a specific way, especially with swimming. Swimming is the hardest one to get technique right because not only you're dealing with stuff that you're not familiar with, you're also dealing with stuff you're not familiar with in an environment you are still not familiar with. Now, when I talk about technique, there's a reason I harp on technique. I know there's a lot of triathletes and a lot of coaches that try and tell you you don't need technique. Well, I am living proof that if you have technique, your life gets amazingly easier. Okay? Throughout 2020, I swam in a pool, an actual pool workout, twice. I swam 2 pool workouts the entirety of 2020, well, once lockdowns went into effect. And I swam in open water maybe 3 times. And I think I had one or two tethered sessions in a very, very frigid pool in October. I did a half Ironman in November, and I swam, and this was rainy conditions, choppy surf. Granted, it was in a bay, so I wasn't worried about surf or currents or anything. But I still held 130 per 100 with virtually zero swim training for the entire year. That's all technique. That's the reason why I do this, because I know that if you get the right technique, your life will be so much easier in the pool. So, how do we get from point A, doing the kicks on the ground, to being able to do it in the water? That's always the $1 million question. How do we do it? The way we do it is through a routine, okay? Get to the pool. Get on the pool deck. Sit and do your kicks. Do 30 seconds on your butt, 30 seconds on your belly, okay? All you're focusing on is firing those muscles, okay? Then what you're going to do, you're going to hop in the pool. Hold the top of the gutter. Put your fingers facing down on the gutter, and float your body, okay? Use your lower arm to brace your body so you're actually floating, okay? Now, it looks like you have a deep gutter pool. That looks like a deep gutter pool. It's either a deep gutter pool or it's definitely not a rim flow. Actually, no, hold on. I can tell you. No, you have a rim flow. Yeah, that's a rim flow. Okay. So you want to hold on. You want to hold on to that bull nose, and then put your hand down underneath that pool. I design pools for a living. That's why I know what kind of pool's what. So you want to hold your legs out. Okay. So if you're doing it right, you should be perfectly flat on the water. So you want to be perfectly flat on the water. Then what you want to do is you want to do some nice easy kicking for a minute. Now all you're doing in this minute kick on the wall, just very easy kick, all you're doing is firing the correct muscles. You're firing the correct muscles. You're not going for speed. You're not going for intensity. All you're doing is activating the same muscles you just did on the Superman on the deck. Just do that, okay? Next, what do we do? So then we want to kick a 25. Grab a kickboard, kick a 25. All you're doing is firing those same muscles. Don't worry about a time. Don't worry about intensity. All you're doing is firing the same muscles. Okay? Now, a couple things to do. Hold on. Let me get my... Okay. So, a couple things to note about kickboards. Kickboards can be your greatest enemy when you're trying to learn this kick technique. Okay? So, if you're trying to hold the kickboard like this, there's a good chance you're kind of like this on the water. So, let me pull up a video of me using a kickboard. Because I have my wife. Yeah, here we go. So, this right here, this is the proper way to use a kickboard. Right here. So, very long, elongated body. Body is all the way out here. I'm not hugging the kickboard right here. You want it to be all the way out. Granted, the Zoot board is a little bit shorter than this board that I have right here. It doesn't really matter. All kickboards, they pretty much do the same thing. Pretty much, I have the Team Zoot board because, I'll be frankly honest, they gave it to me for free. Also, I would have bought it anyway just because I like sporting the Team Zoot gear. But realistically, there is no such thing as the perfect kickboard. Kickboards are kickboards. Just use a kickboard. Doesn't matter. But this is the proper way to use it. I have a video real quick. Let's see here, right here. So what you're looking at is very long, staying on top of the water. I will admit my knees are bending a little bit more than I wanted, but this was actually taken during lockdown. I was actually doing some video for when they came out with the kickboard. So my wife was actually filming me. But you kind of see this idea where I'm on top of the water. I'm very, very straight. You can see my butt is pretty much on top of the surface at all times. I am keeping my body as flat on the water. There is no curve in my spine whatsoever. You want to avoid this. The more curve your spine has, the more it pushes your hips underwater, you're going to have a bad time. So that's the proper way to kick. And this is what you want to be shooting for. This is your ideal kicking situation. So, let's see here. There you go. We'll take that back out. Okay. So, you want to then kick a 25. Now, if you're having problems with your body alignment, I recommend holding the bottom of the kickboard and kicking with your face in the water like this. Kick, 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 kick. And then you want to push the board, take a breath, put it down, kick, 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 kick. Push the board down, take a breath, get back here, kick, 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 kick. So, if you're having problems with the kickboard, do this, okay? I don't recommend not kicking with a kickboard. Eventually, you want to be able to easily kick without a kickboard. But I recommend using it at this point as a nice little flotation aid. So, you want to kick for a 25. Get to the other end of the pool. Get out of the pool. Repeat that whole process again. You're going to get out, do the kicks on your butt, 30 seconds kick on your butt, rotate on your belly, 30 seconds of kick on your belly. Then hop in the pool, hold the wall, kick for a minute, holding the wall, getting that muscle memory, getting it used to feeling what it feels like in the water. Then you're going to push off, doing that kick for a 25. Then once you get back to the pool, the side of the pool you started, put your kickboard up. You're going to then swim a 50. You're going to swim a 50. And all you're caring about, the only thing you want to care about for that whole 50 is the correct muscle activation. Okay? You want to activate those muscles properly. Okay? So now you want to do that at least 2 full sets. So where you're going to do it for the, kicks, kick on the wall, kick a 25. Kicks, kick on the wall, kick a 25, swim a 50. Do that at least 2 times. And then, if you can, do it 4 times. Do that whole cycle 4 times. What you're doing is you are building muscle memory of this kicking style. You have to ingrain it in your head. You sent me an email today about it being the, pat the head, rub the belly thing. So here's the idea. The idea with kick, and we'll end with this. I know that there's a lot more that I could talk about, but for this video in particular, I'm just going to keep it all about the legs. Work on the legs. I'll do an extra video free of charge. I do, like I said, I do this for free. If you want to donate, you can donate. I am not going to stop you at all. But just understand, I wanted to do this in 2 separate videos just because I want this to be more of a definitive how to do these legs. Why are legs important? Let's get these legs going. So, how do we what's the idea with legs? The idea with legs is you want to get to the point where it's set it and forget it. You don't want to worry about legs. You don't want to focus on, you don't want to be thinking, oh crap, am I going too fast? Am I going too slow? No. You know what your legs are going to do. Your legs drive the tempo of your arms, okay? Your arms do not drive the tempo of your legs. Your legs drive the tempo of your arms. It's kind of like running. Your legs are setting the tempo. Your arms are swinging and matching. Your arms aren't going fast, and then your legs are going slow. Your arms aren't telling your legs how fast they're going to go. You are telling your legs how fast they're going to go, and then your arms kind of follow suit. So one thing I always tell sprinters is that you want to sprint faster you got to kick faster. Because if you kick slow, you can't have fast arms when you're going slow, when your legs are going slow. It just doesn't happen. It's very, very, very hard to do that. So that would mean for distance people, what we want to do is we want to get our legs very consistent. When our legs are very consistent, our arms are very consistent. Once our arms and legs are working in harmony, that's when you get the most efficiency out of your body. And when we're distance people, we're all about efficiency. If your arms and your legs are working in harmony and in rhythm, there is a much greater chance of an overall efficiency of the entire machine. That's what we're going for with legs. We are working to develop a way to get the legs consistent, and we're going to get the legs, just moving and going consistently, constantly giving us a little bit of power, giving us all sorts of balance, keeping our lower body afloat. Pushing the leg down a little bit will help keep your legs afloat. And also, when you bend the knee, your knee will sink. That's just what happens. I've tried this all the time. I have a lot of my own messing around to prove this. You bend the knee, your knee sinks. Not if you don't bend the knee, it's a lot harder for that knee to sink. So work on straight legs, straight legs, straight legs, straight legs, straight legs. So kind of a preview, if you want to work on your arms, what you need to work on is grabbing and pushing back with more force. You just need to get more force on that water. Your arms are just like, yeah. Your arms are moving very slow. You're not grabbing and pushing that water. Okay? So if you want to work on that, a couple things you can do is start doing some pull-ups. Pull-ups are very good for swimming. Like if you have access, if you lift weights, overhead rows are really good. Front pull downs, front lat pull downs are really good. Or straight arm pull downs are a really good idea. I don't recommend trying to do this kind of a motion. It kind of gets awkward and really silly, so I don't recommend it. But just straight arm pull downs are a really good idea. But overall, for your arms, what you want to do, you spend a lot of time pushing it down. You know what? Let me go over this. I was planning on cutting the video right here, but this definitely bears there's going to be a good amount of value in pointing this out. Okay, so we're going to get to right here. Okay. So now watch your right arm or your left arm. Okay, your left arm's right about here. Watch your left arm. Okay, so it hits the water right about there. Okay, all right. Now watch how far it goes down before you start engaging. Down, down, down. Now, okay. Your hand is about 3 feet underwater. Pushing down, now you're pulling. Okay? You want to know why you're not getting a lot of power? Because you're pushing that water down, 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 down. Now you're grabbing it. You're only grabbing the water once your hand has reached the deepest point. So what we want to do, so you see right there, now you're pushing backwards. Now you're pushing it straight up. Okay, so here we go. Let's just go over this again. So you push down, down, down. Now you've caught the water. Okay. Also, you kind of got Spider-Man fingers going on. Try and get those fingers together. Okay. Nice, just easy, firm grip. You don't want to squeeze them tense, but nice, firm hands. Now you're back, and then right here you've lost grip. Okay. Right here, you're pushing up on the elbow, and that's kind of did nothing for you. This kind of that really didn't. You see your hands already out to the side, ready to come up and over the water, but you see that was pushing water forward like that. So you're trying to get your recovery started while your hand is still underneath the water. Here, let's see if we can, because the problem is here, the light Light's refracting off the surface, makes it hard to see your right arm, but we can see your left arm pretty good from here. So, okay. So let's go over the genesis of each of your left arm stroke. So hand enters the water. Down, down, down. Now catch, catch, catch. Okay, right here. Elbows out, hands coming over. You see? Right there. Your hand is pushing forward, and then it comes up and over the water. So you got two, and I will be brutally honest. I wasn't planning on talking about this for this video, but we need to talk about this. So right now, you're pushing water this part of your stroke up and over. It's always been my my theory that if anyone's going over a 215 per 100, they are actively pushing water forward every single stroke, and that is the only reason they are able to go that slow. And like I said, this is not an insult. This is an actual legitimate science, physics-based theory. Sorry, got a drink. So, your arm, each and every time you take a recovery, you're pushing water forward. That is actively pushing you backwards, okay? So, what do you do about this? You got to finish your stroke. Finish your stroke all the way. You need to grab that water, push it all the way backwards. Then, one item you can try is a straight arm recovery. You can try what's called a straight arm recovery. I don't like it. I don't normally recommend it. But the problem is you're not. So normally you get your arm all the way back, and then you would get this elbow up, get this hand out to the side, and bring it back forward. Okay? So you're going to be here, forward, all right? Your fingertips should start here, skim the water, bring it all the way back to the front. What's going on is right here, your arm is coming up back here, out to the side, and from here to here, you're pushing water forward. That's what you're doing. So what needs to happen is this needs to get here, the elbow needs to come up, hand needs to come forward. Now, there's a lot of different ways that you can work on this. One of them is by developing a straight arm stroke, a straight arm recovery. I don't love it. It's really hard to master just because you can kind of start doing this like weird snake thingy. That's why I don't really recommend it. But you can also just bring that hand straight out and then work on fingertip dragging over the water all the way to the front. I would actually need to see an above water shot to more accurately see what is going on with the recovery. But that's what I can see from underneath the water. So, so two things with the arms that will greatly help you out. Number one, figure out how to finish the stroke all the way back to where your fingers are legitimately pointing backwards. Get that elbow up, bring that arm forward, or bring the hand all the way to the back, straight arm recovery over the water, get it back to the front. Number two, you need to push harder, okay? And you need to grab that water much earlier. You can't afford to push that water all the way down 3 feet and then start to push it backwards. That hand comes here. You're going to scoop the hand, bend the elbow. Let me see if I can get a better angle here. Bend the elbow, scoop, okay? First step, scoop, scoop. Hand enters the water, scoop that hand. Scoop that hand, bend the elbow outwards. Bring that hand about to your belly button. So let me scooch over here. So you're here. Hand enters the water. Scoop down to the belly button. Okay? That'll get you halfway there on the pull. Because you're here. You're here. 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 Oh, hold on. Let me get in a better position where my mic isn't screwing me up here. 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 Okay? Ugh. I've definitely overused my voice tonight. So anyway, those are two definite things with your hands to do. I hope that this video will help you. If you have any questions whatsoever about anything, please shoot me an email here. You're more than welcome to email me whatever you want. If you have friends that would like to have would like to have me review their swim video, please send them to me as well. So remember, just overall review of the video. Number 1, straight leg kick. Straight leg kick, straight leg kick, straight leg kick. Work on that technique. Do it again and keep doing it until it gets ingrained in your muscle memory and you don't have to think about it anymore. It takes a lot less yards than you think, but it just takes a lot of time and a lot of dedication. And it's not even really that leg intense. You can do it very easily with low intensity legs. You just have to do it a lot in order to get it ingrained in your muscle memory. Number 2, for the arms, work on not pushing water forward with your recovery. Also, work on grabbing that water much sooner and pushing with more force. Don't be a treadmill. Don't just allow the velocity of the water to kind of just carry you forward. You want to be grabbing that water. Pretend your hand is in the middle of your forearm and you're grabbing all that water and you're pushing it backwards. There's not much more I can say because of this angle, the angle that you sent me. But if you can get a couple more angles, there's a lot more that I can look at and kind of, noodle on, figure out what's going with your arms. But your legs were the easiest to see, and that's why I spent more time on that tonight. So anyway, Brent, thank you so much for sending me that video. Like I said, if you got any questions, email me, thefarrell.gmail.com. Once again, thank you, Team Zoot, for being a great helper for this video broadcast. Racing as one, part of the support crew. I'm here to support you. So until later, my friends, I am out of here. And as always, good night, Isaiah Norris. Wherever you are, I'm out of here. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.